Hello everybody, I'm back, so let's play another 5-minute game. Okay, looks like we have an opponent. Our opponent is jsosa, rated 2148, c4, English opening. Let's try the symmetrical variation, knight c3, knight c6, g3, e6, bishop g2, knight f6. This is all theory, knight f6, bishop e7, preparing a castle. g4, take, knight takes d4, a6 to stop any knight from going to b5, and b3 was played here. Okay, let's see. And now I have a choice of what to play. Let's try pawn to d5 here, I think that's an okay move here to put pressure on the center. Okay, exchange of pawns there. Bishop to b2. Let's play bishop e6 to add protection to that pawn. Rook c1. Rook c8 maybe. e3. Okay. What about rook e8? What can he play here? He can take the bishop. I don't know how good that would be. He could probably, alright, let's see what he's gonna play. Knight a4. That's interesting. I guess he wants to get his knight to c5, so let's exchange knights. He'll probably recapture with the bishop, if I had to guess. So he could get the bishop to b6. No, he recaptures with the queen. Interesting. Let's attack the knight with b5 and see how that goes. Alright, let's see where he'll play. That knight to c5. Okay. Now he's threatening to capture the a6 pawn, or to take the bishop on e6. Now, what about, I have a choice here. Queen a5, I'm thinking to protect the a6 pawn and to capture the a2 pawn, or threaten to capture it. I could always take the knight with the bishop, but yeah, let's try queen a5 here and see what he plays. I think he's gonna capture the bishop here, and that pawn on e6 is gonna be pretty weak if he does. Yeah, that's what I thought. So our only move is to recapture it. Well, we are attacking the a2 pawn, but he plays bishop h3, which looks like a very good move. And I think here we're forced to play king f7 to protect that e6 pawn. He could play queen to e5 here, which will be forced to probably play queen to b6 maybe, or move the bishop out of the way. He's thinking pretty long about this move. This is a important time in the game here. Let's see his possibilities. So right now we're attacking the a2 pawn. He has to protect that. He doesn't have to. He could play queen to e5, yes, but I'm not sure what he's gonna play. He's thinking really long about this move, so let's see. He could recapture. He could take the rook on c1, c8 I mean. And if he takes, then queen e5. Don't think that's as good. He's having a really long think here. He plays a4, interesting. My guess he wants to bring the rook over to a1 at some point. Let's see, what can we play here? We can't move the knight because of the queen takes g7 mate. How about taking the pawn? Is that any good? Let's try it. Here he takes it. That's what was expected. What about bishop to c5 here? Now it looks like we can do it because it's protected by the rook and the queen. Bishop, no. He could play queen to e5 if we do that, but let's give it a shot. Alright, so right now he has to move the queen probably over to e5 or h4 or f4 is a possibility. Okay, he moves it to h4. Right now he's threatening bishop takes f6, g takes f6, queen takes h7. That's a very nice trap, so I think we have to put the bishop back to e7 here. That was a good attempt. And queen to h4 looked to be his best move. Alright, so right now we're threatening to move the knight somewhat and attack the queen, which isn't a real threat because if we do move it, he has queen takes h7. So he moves the queen back to d4. Alright, let's try it again. Bishop c5. Does he want a repetition here? If he plays queen h4, looks like we're gonna go back to e7. He goes queen c5. Now this is an important moment in the game. He's threatening the e6 pawn, obviously. We have to protect it somewhat. What about queen to... we could take the pawn. Queen takes a4. Could play queen to b6, but I think queen takes a4 is okay. Could play rook a1 here, but maybe after that we'll play queen to e4. I'm not too sure. So as of this position, we're up a pawn, but it's a long way to go still. And both of us have a minute 18 left on the clock, so we could get into a little bit of time trouble coming up. Alright, he's thinking. We're up about 14 seconds on the clock right now. Bishop d4, alright. Let's see, we could take it, and then he'll be forced to recapture the bishop. I think that looks good. Take it, queen takes, it'll just get all the material off the board. Actually, what about queen to a3 here? That's an interesting possibility. Queen to a3. I think it's worth a shot. He takes that, rook takes c5 is forced. Well, let's play a pre-move. He plays rook b1, the threatening rook b7. We have to protect that somewhat. What about rook c6 to protect that e6 pawn? Okay, rook b7, rook e7. We're gonna have to play a bit faster. We're down to 35 seconds. Queen to d6. Let's play a pre-move. He takes that. King capture. Rook b7. King e8. Not sure if that was the best move. Looks like he's gonna take the g7 pawn in a second. Queen b6. 94. Looking for a counterattack. Bishop g2. e5. Why not? Take. Rook b8, king f7. Rook b7, rook c7. Let's play a pre-move. Queen g8, let's take that. Looks like we're gonna be even in material in a minute. Queen d1. Looks like a forced perpetual here. It doesn't matter where he goes, I can check him. I'll take a draw here. Looks to be a draw. That was a tough match. And don't forget to like this video, leave a comment if you want, and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Thanks, and goodbye.